Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So I've got another What Sold video for you here. I actually missed a week, so I'm going to be talking about the sales from August 25th to 31st this week. And this ended up being actually one of the best, maybe the best, let me just double check that, week that I've had so far this year. Just scrolling back here to double check, probably should have done that before I hit record, but yeah, it is the best week I've had so far in 2024. And a lot of that is because I had a lot of video game stuff that, you know, out of my own personal collection that I was selling. I put it into my booth, and some of it sold, some of it didn't. And I realized, you know what, I'm just going to put all this stuff up on eBay, some higher end games, and I sold a few of them. So my sales for the week of August 25th to 31st were $1,382.60, and out of that, 994 of it was profit. So a 71.9% margin. I mean, obviously, I did initially have some buy cost on these video games and stuff as they came out of my own personal collection, and it's not like this is a typical reselling week necessarily, because obviously, you know, I'm selling stuff I already just had in my house, but it is sales, and I wanted to talk about it and give you an idea of what sells. So I mean, if you see any of these video games out in the wild, you might want to pick them up. In any case, let's go ahead and see what sold for this $1,382 that week. Also had a couple of really nice other sales, and this is one. This leads it off. This is a new with tags Peter Millar Yorkshire wool jacket. I found this in my local thrift store. I paid $8.34 after taxes, and this had like a retail value of over $300 US. And I sold it for $250 Canadian plus shipping, and that's a profit of $197.24 just from this very first item to sell from the week. So obviously this kickstarted things in a really nice way. Next up, sold Final Fantasy II for the Super Nintendo, and this came in my own personal collection. It sold for $79.99 plus shipping, so after fees it was $62.71 in profit. Sold this Harley Davidson Nashua Eagle shirt. I would have paid $5.46 for this. That's my price after tax for t-shirts at my local thrift store. It sold on Poshmark for 25 bucks, so after the 20% fee, which is $5, I cleared 20, which is $14.54 in profit. Now, I don't have a photo for this, but I had about 250 VHS that were just spares that we like, because we have a big collection of movies, VHS and DVDs in our house, and these were just a bunch of extras that we had gotten, you know, as we were picking up bundles and bunches to try to add to our collection. We realized these are ones we don't need, so I had them down in the booth trying to sell them for like $1 a piece. Obviously I was willing to do deals. The week that I decided that I was going to take them out of the booth, which was this day, a guy came in and bought 5 VHS. So that was $5. Another really good sale. This was a vintage 80s, I believe it's called Labanville or Labanville. I'm not really sure exactly, but it's a double wool plaid jacket, as you can see here. I would have paid $9.14 for this, and it sold for $129.99 on eBay plus shipping. So I ended up with a $97.57 profit on that. So again, out of that and the other jacket to lead things off, that 900 and some in profit for the week, 300 is just in these two jackets. So that's great. All right, Majora's Mask for N64. This sold on eBay. It's out of my own personal collection. Sold for $84.99. So that's a $72.52 profit. Then we got Final Fantasy Mystic Quest for Super Nintendo. This sold for $20 for $15.42 in profit. This Disney, this WandaVision Scarlet Witch costume, so we picked this up, would have paid $6.33 for it. We found it at our thrift store chain, our clothing chain, and sold it for $22 plus shipping. The buyer did actually pay a couple of extra dollars for shipping, and I knew that they would, so I ended up taking a little bit of a lower offer. I was kind of hoping to get more like $25, $30, but I took the $22 knowing that, and still profited $14.76. This New England Patriots Christmas sweater. It's never too early for Christmas sweaters. I probably could have waited and got a little bit more for it, but I paid $7.78 for this. That's not right. that would be $7.48. That's a misprint because sweaters come to $7.48 at my local store. Sold it for $30 on Poshmark, so I did make $16.52 in profit. Now Final Fantasy III for Super Nintendo. This one sold for $85. I probably could have got a little bit more for it had I held out, but $85 is fine. That's a $71.25 profit. Secret of Mana for Super Nintendo, same deal, out of my own personal collection, so sold for $55, and that's $42.63 in profit. The Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition for GameCube. This is disc only, so this one has like four games on it, and just disc only still sold for $64.99. So I made $51.28 in profit on that one after fees. This Bowden denim jumpsuit, paid $8.91 for it. It sold for $31 on Poshmark. There was some discounted shipping on that, so it was $13.08 in profit. This was a cool one, this New with Tag Sun-Made sweater. Like, this wasn't obviously like an actual corporate sweater that they gave out or something. I would have paid $7.48 for it. It sold for $58 on Poshmark, and I made a profit of $36.09 on that one. And it sold within about a month of listing. This women's Patagonia Better sweater, it had the embroidered, it had some embroidered, like a name of, I don't know if it was a school or something on it, but in any case, I paid $7.48 for it. Obviously the branding knocked it down a little bit in value, but I still got $25 for it, so a $12.52 profit. Now this, as you can tell from the photo, this is one of my oldest listings. This is a New with Tags Wilson baseball pants. I think these were a size large. So I sold these on August 29th. You would expect to sell something like this maybe more like the beginning of the year, but these were actually in the lowest inventory number in my custom SKU, like inventory system. So it was in box 1 and bag 2, 002. So this was definitely, you know, from a couple of years ago when I switched over to this inventory system. This was this was one of the first items. So anyway, I would have paid $7.19 for these quite a while ago then, and you know, probably like two and a half years ago, and they sold for $17.99 plus shipping. So I did only make about a $4 profit after fees and stuff, but I was happy to see those go. All right, this House of the Dead remake for Switch. This was new and sealed. I had picked this up at Walmart. They had that on discount, and I bought 2 or 3 copies of it and sold it, and then I kept one for myself. They were going for like 50 or so back when I picked up the few to sell them. This one just came in my own personal collection. I realized I'm realistically never going to open this and play it, so sold for $32. It's still a $24 profit. Now, Chrono Cross for the Switch. This is new and sealed as well. Chrono Cross, definitely, you know, one of my nostalgic RPGs. I would have played it on the PS1 back in the day, and actually I own it for PS1, but I also own it digitally, and I played it recently, and same deal. It was like, realistically, am I ever going to actually open this and play it where I own it digitally and on PS1? No, so I sold it for $50. Worked out to a $40.89 profit. These Lucky brand Brook corduroy pants, I've had these for a long time. Paid $7.19 for these back in the day, and I just cleared them out on Poshmark and actually sold them for $5. So my income on that was actually only $1.05. So that was a loss of $6.14 overall on that transaction, but just happy to see them go after all this time, and yeah, I recouped $1. This FootJoy DryJoy black short sleeve jacket. I paid $8.34 for this, sold on Poshmark for $30, so that's a $15.66 profit. These New Balance 840 V4 men's running shoes in a size 10.5. Paid $6.33 for these, and they sold on eBay for $49.66. And yeah, plus shipping, and I ended up making about $35 in profit on that. This Marmot women's snowboarding jacket, skiing snowboarding jacket, paid $9.78 for it. I've had it for quite a while, so I took an offer of $20, And yeah, I ended up making just a little over $3 profit on that one, but I've had it for a long time, so I was happy to see it go. Now this Torrid llama print top. Torrid won't make you rich, but tends to move pretty good. I paid $5.46 for it. It sold for $20 on eBay, and at the end of it, I made $9.69 in profit. And now another great sale was out of my own personal collection, Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess for GameCube. Yeah, out of my own personal collection, so no buy cost. Sold it for $150 plus shipping, so I made $124.50 after fees. This new in-box Kama wrestling figure, some people would know him as the Godfather. He was also, I believe, in the very early 90s, Papa Shango, I believe, was one of his characters, like the spooky voodoo dude. In any case, I had picked 3 of these up at Salvation Army back in the day for about $3 a piece, and this one sold for $10 plus shipping, so I did only make like $5 in profit, but that's okay. And these Nuvitags LL Bean brown corduroy pants, would have paid $7.88 for these, and they sold on eBay for $27, and I made $15.48 in profit on those. And then this Witcher 3 Geralt figure, in box, but the box was a little bit rough. I've had this for a while. I have no idea where I got it or how much I paid for it, but it's just kind of been sitting on my shelf for a long time. I'm assuming I probably spent about $5 on it at some point, and I just sold it in my booth for $5, so I'm going to say that I made my money back and broke even on it. I really didn't want to just keep it and hang on to it in my own collection, so yeah, that was that. So anyway, quite a bit there to go through, but obviously a lot of video game stuff, you know, which boosted those profit numbers in that margin, excuse me, percentage, but it worked out really well because I had to replace my front car brakes, pads, and rotors, which was almost $500. So yeah, it was nice to have those extra bits of money coming in to help cover that. So anyways, $1,382.60 in sales for the week for $994.50 in profit. 18 items sold on eBay, 7 on Poshmark, nothing on Facebook Marketplace, 2 items at the booth. And that is the week. So that's it. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.